Hi, good morning, everyone. Uh, the market is not doing much. Actually, in the morning, it had opened gap up and it looked promising. But after that, we have seen, some bit of cool off from the top. So let's analyze. I mean, I was trying to think, what is looking interesting. There are few stuffs that I got, but there is not much to talk about today. Uh, uh, One thing that I would dwell upon a little more on importance of sentiment indicators, and I will tell you my past experience as well, so that you will be able to understand why those are very important. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay. So let me quickly share my screen, and please let me know, once you are able to see my screen. Share screen. Okay. I hope you all are able to see my screen. Please, comment yes if you are able to see my screen. Okay. Thanks. So I hope DV you can see my screen now. Uh, so yeah. So see, what we were looking at yesterday was, the early momentum. I mean, the early averages to break on the upside in the morning. It was looking promising, but from there it has come down. So it needs to actually clear this 40-hour exponential average, because over here as well, it tried to break about it, but then it went down. So whenever the trends are very strong, usually you will see that the averages don't break on the upside. Okay, I mean, if they are in the downtrend, now the stronger the trend, I mean, say for example, if the 20-day is not breaking on the downside, okay, in this case, so that suggests that the trend is very strong. Okay, and if the 40 R is not breaking, that means we are having some pullback from time to time, but then at least we are not in for a very major correction as such. Okay, it's only when the 40 period of any time frame breaks, that's where we need to be open for a meaningful correction. So what is happening right now is that once it broke this crucial averages over here, there was a break, pullback, fall, again a pullback. Now whether it is again going to go down or no, let's see. Uh, I also saw the sentiment indicator, especially the daily swing. I mean, daily swing is sort of at a very neutral level, so there is nothing much to write home about it. But given that it had hit some oversold zone over here and there is some positive divergence that we are seeing, the expectation is that eventually it should get resolved on the upside, where Nifty also rises higher and it also moves towards the upper end of the range. But anyways, let's see. I mean, this is an evolving situation, so let's analyze what more is happening. One more thing that honestly is a slight bit of disappointment for me is basically the Nifty Bank, because that was also looking very promising. Okay, I mean, I was very hopeful, because what was happening is that, I mean, if you remember, I think 1 or 2 sessions back, we had talked about this channel in the Bank Nifty Index, right? It took support over here, it bounced back. Uh, in the morning, it was giving signs that this channel will be broken on the upside with a gap area, but that has not happened. And in fact, this is a classic price action, resistance that you can see. So over here, this was supposed to be a resistance. It has actually respected that resistance zone, and seen some selling pressure over there. Maybe it might do some bit of time pass and then break out on the upside. But I think this should eventually resolve on the upside. That is also because now the RMI has also gone back to the zero line. So the moment we start seeing a bullish crossover, and bullish crossovers happening above the daily averages, these are typically good signals to bet on. Okay, so that's how it is. Now I'll tell you that why sentiment indicators, especially looking at medium to long term, are important. because I'll tell you some of my experience. Okay. And and in my experience, whenever I have tried to go against the sentiment data, it has never rewarded me, frankly, to be very honest. So see, I'll show you this phase. Okay, this is where we broke out, and eventually somewhere over here, uh, basically somewhere over here, Ukraine Russia war broke out in 2022. Okay, and if you see the US indices, so I do try. I do track this global market as well. So that's where, if you, so let me do the daily chart. So what had happened over here, that Dow had been falling, and it had fallen, I think, almost 20% or so. If I have to check the size of it, where is this? Yeah. So if I check the price from high to low, okay, it had almost gone 27%, right? And what had happened in that, in the Nifty index, we barely saw any correction. It was, I think, to the tune of 10-12%. That too, the breath was still very strong till this point of time. Okay. The breath was actually very strong till this point of time. It was only in this leg where we saw a meaningful correction. But even if you see in terms of correction, we had not seen much. Okay, not especially as compared to US. And what was happening is that uh, the US was still falling when we were rising. Okay, so after that, when this correction happened, I thought that maybe India might catch up on the downside and we might see a lot more correction. But by that time, it had come to this oversold zone. So it had bounced from here a bit and then again went down. So I thought that maybe it might do something like this till the time we don't complete the fall. Okay, but eventually what happened is that this breakout happened, and once the breakout happened, and of course, uh, you know we had this reversal also over here, so I had turned bullish. But the problem is that you need to be very quick in making those decisions, right? And it's all about mindset. So see, at this point of time, the mindset is that at some point of time the reversal is happening, so I will be lot more quicker to react when the reversal actually happens. But over here I was a little laid back because I thought that this war, interest rate and all are big thing and we might fall. Okay, but that eventually did not happen. Something over here. So over, in this case, when the oversold happened, I was very much clear that breakout would happen because we had broken out from this cup and handle pattern. So this was more like a retest, and then we are going to go up, right? So there was no confusion over here, because a retest plus this oversold zone was a very good indication. Now, over here, when the election happened, okay, when BJP did not get the majority seat, and you know, to be very honest, even things were in my mind that BJP did not get majority, so policy paralysis, blah blah blah, and all those things. Even I started to think, okay, but at that point of time, one thing which was very noticeable was over here. So this was at the back of my mind. So what I thought was there might be a pullback and then it goes down, and we might end up seeing somewhat this bit of phase. That is what I was anticipating, right? And maybe somewhere over here, if the gap fills and so on, maybe that's where it might end up becoming a good opportunity. That was my thought process. But eventually what happened was that there was a turnaround, and it started rising higher. So basically what I'm trying to say is that what I've learned is that when it is in an extreme zone, it might sometimes test your patience, but the eventual path it will resolve on the upside. Is what my experience is. Unless if it's a black swan event, then this indicators might not work, because in black swan event, panic takes over, and then there will be a lot of restriction on short selling and so on. This was something we even saw in COVID, right? In COVID, FII speed shorting happened over here, where when we were in the middle of the correction. But then what happened was that regulator came and they started telling that you cannot short sell this, that, and all those things. So when there are some black swan event, that is the time, where this indicators, I mean, forget about this, but everything will go for a toss. So that's why, yesterday I discussed this a bit in detail, that I watch out for, to gauge the medium term trend. I watch out these four indicators. Okay, this is FII, client, client plus FII, and 20/80 ratio. Okay, it is the 20/80 ratio which is still not confirming that the breadth is bad. But all other things are actually, indicating that there is bad sentiments, and things are coming to an extreme. So I don't know whether, we turn around after this monthly expiry or when, but I think that eventually this should resolve on the upside. The one main thing I will be watching out for is that how is the positioning post the expiry. So there are still, I mean, 4 5 trading sessions left. In fact, more than that, for the monthly expiry to happen. But let's see what happens. Okay. So now I told you that, we are struggling a bit over here, but the idea is to think that eventually things will resolve on the upside. So and actually in the dashboard itself I got, so I did total market over here, right? And remember, yesterday we were talking about the themes, right? So FMCG was one, then we discussed about metal, then there was one more sector which I was forgetting, and I was saying that, one more thing that looks interesting, but I just forgot the name, and that was cement, right? And why it clicked me today was because when I saw the Nifty total market, okay, and which are the stocks that are making 52-week high, that's where I found, many cement stocks. So Dalmia Bharat is the new one now, that is making a 52-week high. And if you see the chart over there, it looks over there interesting as well. So wait, let me just zoom in. And let me do total market. Okay, and the 52-week high, right? So over here, let me put my setup. Okay, so over here, when you see the weekly chart, you can see that Dalmia Bharat, that seems to be now breaking out after a big consolidation. Okay, then the other one which caught my eye was Star Cement. I had seen over here only, I think, or maybe it was in gainers list, I don't know. But the other one was Star Cement. This is another stock that is now starting to look interesting. That is because, mainly, if we see the setup, it has gone through a phase of consolidation, right, over here, and now it is trying to break out. And on the weekly chart, if we see, the RMI setup is also very nice, which means that we have taken support around the averages, and now there is a bullish crossover that seems to be happening. So this looks interesting as well, right? The other one which I saw was the one more large cap stock, which was Shree Cement. So when we do the weekly chart over here, it is now almost coming back towards the 2021 high. So there has been many years of consolidation that we have seen, and now it seems to be looking up. So this was also another good setup. The few other ones which I saw and that looked interesting was, one was GMDC. Okay, this I think I had seen in some scanner or somewhere, I think in RMI. So what is happening is that, wait, let me remove the Bollinger Band. So what is happening is that it broke above the high of 2007. Okay, only in 2023. After that, it went through a phase of correction. It almost tested the 40, and now it is trying to make a comeback. Okay, so just for just to share you the perspective, whenever the monthly buy and all comes, it can last anywhere between 1 to 2 or even 3 years of trend. Okay, so if you buy over here and then you crib that what is happening, because please try to understand one thing, that the stock has moved higher all the way from 226 to 453, okay, in the last few months or so. So at some point of time, it is very natural that it might show some correction. So ideally, such kind of stocks where that the long term trend is turning bullish, so what you need to do is that go on a lower time frame like daily or weekly and try to time it, so that uh, your risk reward or your entry is good. Okay. uh, just trying to blindly buy it without searching for the levels, or without knowing what is the downside potential, can be very risky. Okay, so please keep this in mind. But while I was checking the dashboard, these are the things that looked interesting. So now I remember, I got I got into this stock through the volume buzzer. Okay, in volume buzzer it came, and it was showing some spike in volumes in the recent time. So that's where this caught my eye. The other one which looked interesting was RHMI. Okay, this is into the metal sector. Okay, and we discussed yesterday about the metal sector looking a bit good. So when I go to weekly, okay, and let me put that setup. In fact, not weekly. So in the weekly, what is happening is that it is now trying to break above the 40, but on the monthly as well, okay, it is sort of trying to give us a bullish crossover. Now, of course, the 20-month average and all, these will act as a very strong resistance in the near term. But if it manages to clear that, it can have an interesting setup, because I don't know, just by the look, it feels like it can be some sort of flag pattern. Yeah. So even actually, the channel breakout also coincides somewhere around the 20-month. So even this one looked interesting, and this specifically caught my eye, mainly because while we were doing the stream and we realized that metals look good on the chart, right? So that's where this index caught my. This stock caught my eye. Then the other one, these were few things that I saw. Then the other thing that I saw was, even in this choppy market, which are the stocks that are near 52-week high. I'm not telling at 52-week high, because they're already making one. In near 52-week high, what might happen is that, these stocks will probably be experiencing some sort of pullback, and then they might rise higher, right? So, say for example, IIFL, it has seen some pullback. So that's where these stocks also make sense, especially when the market is correcting or something like that. That's where watching this scanner makes it a little easy, because when you think that the markets are likely to rise higher, then you might want to see which are the stocks near 52-week high. So one setup I found interesting was Sudarshan Chem, because over here also it broke above the previous high, and now it is consolidating over here, right? Even if you see the RMI setup, that's what I was trying to see. So that also looks interesting, right? It is trading above the 40-day continuously, and it is consolidating. So the expectation would be that at some point of time, when this consolidation breaks on the upside, it can see a new leg of up move. But all this holds true as long as the 40-day holds. Okay, if that breaks decisively on the downside, then this would be a risk, and maybe then the weekly averages might end up testing. Okay, or if the correction has to even get deeper, then who knows, uh, all these levels will get activated on the downside. So in that sense, we need to be careful. But a good setup is developing over there. The other one which I saw was, no, not Bango, but it was some power name. It was, I think, Power Mac or something. Power India. So this setup also looked interesting. That is because there is some consolidation, uh, a support at 40, and now it is trying to break this on the upside, and there is a bullish crossover. So this one also looks interesting, because there was a break, above the previous high. Now, after that, there is some consolidation, and ideally, if the markets are supportive, then even this should fly off on the upside. So yes, I think making this scanner makes more sense. And to make your life easy, what you can do is that these are the stocks which are near 52-week high, right? So what I do is that I create a watch list saying stocks near 52-week high, right? I make this list. So with this, what happens is that not only these stocks come on my radar for the daily purpose, like I can go over here to the watch list, okay, and I can also track it over here. Else, what I can do is that I can run the scanner of RMI and see which are the stocks where we are seeing some fresh positioning, fresh built up happening. So, say for example, stocks near 52-week high. Okay, so over here, which are the ones which are giving buy on the daily chart, right? This simplifies my life a little bit because here I can see, okay, this. So yeah, so you can do this as well. It can make your life a little easy, but yes, I think going through that 52-week scanner will I mean, these all stocks, when you put on your radar, this will really help you to find where is it that the action is happening. And you can also filter it by the percentage change or so as well. So the ones which are making, I mean, which are flying, can be on your radar as well. So say for example, something like Sinclair, I just found out right now, but there is this breakout that is happening. So say for example, by the day end, if the breakout does happen, so this can end up becoming one interesting bet. So let's see. There are a lot of things that are happening. So just to summarize, what I am observing right now, the thing is that Nifty is not really trying, I mean, is attempting to break out, but so far it is, lagging a bit. It needs to cross at least the the 40-hour exponential average. Okay, it needs to at least break above this and sustain above this. And then there are few hurdles that I mentioned yesterday, which was 25 to 55 and the 61.8% retracement of the entire decline, right? Which is this. So that comes to around 25, 370, 369 or so. So these are the two levels then to watch out for. And I think once the 61.8% breaks on the upside, that's where the sentiment data, where we are seeing extreme pessimism by the FIIs, they will start covering, and that is what can, actually trigger the next leg of up move. So, these are the data points that I'll be watching out for and see, how things unfold. So now, if you have any questions, we can take it up. So RHIM is yeah, I know. So yes. Okay, its peers are this. I did not know this. Please guide to make a list of. DV, can you please explain this question once again? Please guide to make list of 52-week high or near high. I don't know if I understood the question properly, but basically there is a scanner that you will see over here in the dashboard. Sorry, you have to hover over here, go to scanner, okay, and then over here there is something called as price action scanner. Okay, you have to click over here, and you will see it, and you will see the list over here. If you want to see 52-week low, you simply switch it to 52-week low, and you will be able to see those stocks as well, right, which are near 52-week low. So yeah, these these are the scanners. Then the other thing that you might also want to see is which are new 52-week. So that is also something that you can see over here, right? But near So this new 52-week high, you can actually see it from the dashboard itself. For near 52-week high, you will have to come over here and you will have to check it. And you can just simply make the watch list as I mentioned over here. Just click over here and create the watch list. Add everything and the watch list will be created. So there were two more stocks that have come now, which is Mannapuram. So I simply click on all the names and it comes in my list, right? So yes, that is how you can make a watch list. So, so Nitik says, what is Strike? So Strike is basically an analytical platform where we are trying to showcase all the data, be it technical, derivatives, fundamental, everything in one screen, so that it makes your life easy. And the whole motive of Strike is to help you find those stocks quickly, so that you can spend your time analyzing more on the stock rather than simply scanning. Okay, so scanning part becomes quicker. Maybe execution and you trying to research more on the stock, that becomes your primary focus. So that was the idea with which Strike was built. Uh, can you please analyze INOX screen and delivery? Mm, I I don't I did not wanted to get into stock specific, but anyways, let's see if we end up finding some interesting setup, because delivery I know there had been a nice up move that we have seen. I think after delivery. Oh, it has already moved higher a lot. So there was this double bottom pattern which was over here. I remember that thing, but after that I did not see. But the stock has moved up a lot. So if I do daily, weekly, monthly, I don't know. There is nothing over here. I mean, this move has already happened. Maybe you might want to wait patiently and see once the correction happens, where does it halt and what happens. But as of now, there is nothing much in it. Not green. Not green. You see the daily chart. Hmm, I don't know if we call it this as an inverse HNS pattern. Maybe that could be developing, but that's about it. I can't see anything else which looks interesting. Let me see the weekly chart. Hmm, no, maybe this high, if it breaks on the upside, things can get interesting, because it might look like a inverse HNS pattern breakout, but also we need to monitor the volumes how it is, on the breakout. That can help us get some clue. So let's see. So Mahindra says, can we use this platform for intraday option selling? See, at this point of time, we have this 1 minute delayed data. So yes, in options specifically, all the data points are getting updated every minute. So price action is getting updated every minute, and from the exchange only, the open interest we are getting is 3 minute delayed. So we give a lot of data points over here, which can really help you in your intraday trading as well. Okay, or if you want different views. So say for example, if you have made a position in Nifty index and you want to see how the OI is shaping up for all the stocks, I mean for all the indices. So that's how you can do over here. Like you can see over here, the Nifty index, it is going down a bit. So the blue is the price action, but there is a constant increase in the call OI that is happening, and there is some put unwinding also that has happened. So if you want all these kind of data insights, you might surely get it over here. So I think it can be helpful for you for options as well. So, but this screen will really make your life very easy. Like if you want to find the stocks which are near the the highest call area, So you can just simply click over here and put it as near resistance. So all the stocks which are coming the near the highest call area for all the expiries combined. Okay, I can even untick this. Then this will only show for the current expiry. But if I do combine, it takes into account near month, next month, and far month. So if I do over here, these are the stocks which are basically approaching near the call resistance area. Okay, this can be the ones where you might want to watch out for if there are really any sell signals. So that way, we have bifurcated it, and we have also made a video about it. Okay, you can go to the help section and you can go to this strike away insights strategy for option buyer. You can surely get some very good insights from the screen. Uh, what time frame? What is the time frame? Daily, weekly? So for Deepak, for positional, if you ask me, I would use a combination of daily and weekly. If I want a long term thing, then it can be a combination of weekly, monthly. Lavish, do you know the reason for gold shoot up? No. I mean, it has been trending higher. That's all I know. Uh, Mahesh says any scope of. So see, Mahesh, I mean, I have mentioned this many time in in last few days. The thing is that there are few important priorities that we have in the near term. You know, so, just to answer your question straight, at least in the next few months, we are not thinking about it because there are some new features about fundamental scanner and all which people are asking about. Okay, that's what our near-term priority is. So once we, go live with the entire module with 1 minute delay. So right now there are some part of scanners and all which are still left for us to move it to 1 minute delay. Okay, once that happens, that's where we'll roll out new features. Once the new feature rolls out, that's where we can start thinking of the BSC data. But mostly, all the important stocks actually get covered into NSC, and that's where we had initially thought of starting with NSC. But at some point of time, definitely we'll bring BSC, but at least not in the next few months. Okay. Is there an automation which stays entry? No, Mike. Nothing of that sort as of now. Ashish, perfect. Thank you. I saw early. So wanted it. Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice, Ashish. Good to know that. Okay. So I think with that, okay, I have some more questions. Mohit, can't tell you the timeline because frankly there are some delays also that we have seen in the timelines. So all I can say is that at least in the next few months, so that is not the consideration. Uh, we want to fix our system completely. There are still sometimes some bugs happen, so we want to fix all those things, nicely, and make this platform very robust. And after that, we can start thinking of new things. Okay, so I think with that, today's session we can wind up as I don't see any more questions. So let's see, let's meet tomorrow. Let's hope we see some trending move because today trying to think of what to discuss was difficult. Uh, Luckily, few good stocks and setups popped up today, so that's what we discussed. But apart from that, it's pretty dull market right now. So let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's catch up tomorrow. Thanks all for joining. See you tomorrow.